Haynes, congrats for making a bowl.
Congrats, sir.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Thanks. It's a good season for the Ospreys.
Yes, it was. 2106 is behind us, but you took it. No one had you as going into the playoffs or going into the bowl.
Neither did I.
Shows you what all those guys know.
Exactly.
Well, I was definitely pulling for him once he got there. I had the Ospreys for about 50 seasons and never did anything of note with them. So I was very happy to see you get something done with them.
I was real happy with the season. It exceeded all my expectations for sure.
Haynes, isn't it fun to play when you're winning? Like, aren't seasons more fun when you're competing like that? I find that they are.
Oh, for sure. It's a different game when everything's clicking.
So tell us about your team this season that just passed. What was it about it? Was it the quarterback, defense, what?
That's a good question. I was pleased. I was very pleased with my quarterback play. I picked up this Quinn Nichols in the third round a couple of seasons ago. And when Max Dillon went down a couple of seasons ago, I started him. It's about halfway through the season. I think I was, like 2-4 or something. And I thought, well, I'm probably not going to make the playoffs. So I'm going to see if this guy can play. And he actually did pretty well that season for the second half of that season. So this was his first full year starting. And he did pretty well.
Yeah, he did. He did 16. So he went all 16 games, 59% completion, 3,400, almost 3,500 yards, 6.39s per average, 16 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So you're 2-1 on the interception touchdown ratio,
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ask too much of him. My offense is pretty easy on a quarterback. Short passes, run the ball, stay out of third and long. And it worked out really well this season.
You had a nice tandem with Poole and Fitzgerald too, a running back.
Yeah, exactly. Running back by committee. I played Casey Weber for some downs too. He's a talented running back, but he has zero endurance. So I run him around the end about 4 plays a game. But Fitzgerald is my every down back. Julio Poole.
Goal line guy, huh?
Yeah, goal line, third and short. And it works pretty well.
Yeah, those two guys actually remind me of back in the day when Minnesota Vikings had Robert Smith and Leroy Horde. Smith was the yard churner and Horde was a touchdown magnet. It's a nice combo.
Yep. Yeah, that worked out pretty good this season.
Oh, yeah. Poole had 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you put it together. You just snuck up on everybody and just kept it going.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, the biggest difference this season versus previous seasons was, getting a little better at being a general manager, specifically as it revolves around play calling. And I've gotten better on the defensive side of the ball with game planning, and I think that was probably the difference.
Oh yeah, look at that number 3 scoring defense. That helps.
Yeah.
Well, Texas falling off the face of the earth probably helped too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Howard, you're going to blame that on the computer problems, aren't you?
No, that was not computer problems. That was growing pains. I was hoping that my wide receiving core was good enough to carry me to a 9-7 record. I mean, I had no delusions that I was gonna make another 11-5, 12-4 run and make the playoffs. I was hoping that I could split with the teams in the division, win the games that I was supposed to win, maybe battle it out with Outer Banks to have a shot at winning the division or even the wild card at 9-7. It wasn't computer problems. Computer problems were really more just like frustrating. It would take me 15, 20 minutes to connect to download a game, and connecting to the internet was problematic.
Oh, you're gonna have your hands full now.
I know, and I think like 2 or 3. The writing was on the wall 2 or 3 seasons ago with the draft picks that Haynes had made, and the draft picks that Moontown has. If they can get their quarterback playing, I think that the Atlantic Coast division could be super tough to play in. So it doesn't come as a surprise to me that Haynes played so well today or last season. I knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time. So on the next season.
Haynes, give us your 2 main guys on your team that you love.
The tight end, Harvey Vance. He's my go-to guy. I probably throw more to him than anybody on the team, and mostly over the middle. Also on third down. I have 2 receivers that have a 0 bar for third down catching. So I have to throw to my tight ends on third down, Harvey Vance and Kendall Hartman.
Kendall Hartman. I got him. Your 2 tight ends, these are your valuable players that you love?
Well, Harvey Vance is. The other most valuable player that I love is on the defense is Pedro Rodriguez.
Oh, Sackmaster.
Yeah, he's a rookie this season. He was a middle linebacker. I switched him to weak side linebacker, and I thought I'd play him at defensive end. I weight trained him up, but for whatever reason, I wasn't able to change his position to defensive end. I don't know if it's a weight thing or what, but I left him as a weak linebacker and just slotted him in on as a defensive end, right defensive end on every play.
Yeah, and that works too. I think they got to be at least 260 to switch him to defensive end.
No, I think it's 255 because I switched somebody over that was I think 258.
Oh wow! So he's
Yeah,
like,
But
he's
it could be a
254.
combination of height and weight because he's pretty tall too. So
Yeah, he is. So this guy, speaking of height, he got he had a lot of hurries, and he also had a lot of knockdowns.
yeah, nice tall guy, sure.
yeah, 7 blocks as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's
As a
good.
rookie. Well, yeah, as a rookie. Not
That's
bad.
great.
Yeah, he
Season
was
for a rookie.
defensive rookie of the year, and I think he came in third for defensive player of the year as a rookie, which was pretty good.
Well, Howie's going to be gunning for your team this season. Right, Howie?
That is correct.
Yeah, but his quarterback still sucks, just like mine.
We're going to get to you, Red
Hey,
Zone.
don't we all have that problem?
Why don't we jump to
Maybe-
Red Zone? But
Maybe
I just want to
what-
say one thing for Haynes. Nice beatdown on me. 44-17.
I don't know what happened there. I think I think you gave away that game, Clay. You
I,
had a couple fumbles. I had a pick six. So it was my defense. Anytime I score more than 30 points or whatever, it's my defense doing something.
so I got to
Because
give
my offense is not high scoring.
I got to give you props. You kicked our ass.
Should have played McConnell. Maybe he wouldn't have retired.
I know. That's shocking.
Yeah.
Red Zone.
That was
What
pretty
happened to
hot.
your team?
What happened to my team?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I'm my time has been really, really, really cut into. I'm probably about to drop every FOF league except IHOF. I'm not sure when, but it's coming. I feel that is probably going to happen soon. There were days I just did not get to send a file. I mean, when you and I played the first time,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, God. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, oh, shit, I never sent a file. I probably lost. And I pulled it up and we won. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just leave it alone, stop touching it. And then I put a file in the next game and you won. And I was like, okay, I should have not sent a file again. But I can't do that. I mean, I'm always in there tweaking and trying to make, what didn't work better. What worked good work better. I can't say that I had my full attention this season. It was there for a while, and I took a different position at the same company, and the transition was brutal. And the things that I have to learn and the time that I'm going to have to spend, there's no way I'm going to be in multiple leagues anymore. I don't know. I don't really want to leave NAFL, but I can guarantee IHOF will be the one I keep if it's just one. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm worried about time I'll be able to spend on this draft that's coming. What am I going to do with these two QBs? That's up in the air. Free agency, re-signing guys. I mean, I'm going to have to – when I'm going to get my most mileage is on like a Saturday night and Sunday when there's no sim and I have time to sit down on a Sunday when nothing's going on and kind of plot the week because I'm not going to be able to game plan like I used to. I don't think that's going to happen. Not for a while, another month or two. But I don't have any excuses. I mean, your team played great and we didn't. And QB play was simply not there, Clay. I mean, this guy made the Pro Bowl, Darrell Taylor. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. How much money is he going to want now? Because he's not getting any. I'm not paying any of these guys. I can go 8-8 with free agents. I don't need to pay these guys millions of dollars. What is it? FFL, I have a running back. He wants $40 million to extend. He's in his 8th year. I just laughed. I said, yeah, you can play this season. You can hold out. You can retire. I can cut you. You're not getting $40 million a year. I'm not paying anybody that kind of money anymore. I'm just not. I can lose without you. When you start being the reason we win, we'll start talking about $40 million contracts.
Now, between the two quarterbacks, are you getting rid of Benson?
I don't know. I can get rid of him now with no real cap hit. I mean, I'll have dead money, but it won't be any more than if he stays. It won't, I'll save his salary. So I could let him go. He probably should be on a trade block to see if somebody else can figure out how to make him work. I can't. But that doesn't mean Darrell Taylor is, I'm not handing him the keys to the kingdom. I mean, he played okay and his numbers look all right. But like I said in that last post, we win week 17, 52-0. Okay, pull up my schedule and look at how many close losses we had. We lost to
I
Howie
have it right here. Hold on.
We lost to Howie 13-12, and you put 52 up week 17 with 4 TDs and no picks, and then you go to the Pro Bowl. And you want me to pay you for that? No, I don't think so.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah, I mean, win the games that matter. Don't wait till week 17 and throw up a big, super stat game, that's going to pump your stats, get you in the Pro Bowl. And what are you going to come looking for a contract now?
Yeah,
20 million or 30 million or 40 million?
I had you sneaking back into playoff bound.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought McIntyre would take another step forward, but he took a step back this year.
Well, that was one of the mistakes I made. I set things up to do the 2-back set, the 2-back system. And I got about halfway or 2/3 of the way through the season, and I'm thinking, wait a second. Why are we giving carries to this other guy?
Yeah, no need to.
Look at the endurance bar on McIntyre. How many of his runs, instead of a 5-yard game, he might have broken a 50-yard TD. We might have a couple more wins. So I made the change, but it was too late.
Who was the other back you were giving it to? Webb?
Swindle.
Swindle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, he 4.4 yards per carry.
He did fine, but I mean, he's not. He shouldn't be taking carries away from McIntyre.
Yeah, I'd say he swindled some carries from McIntyre.
Yeah.
Well, even at that, they're still the number 3 rushing offense, number 4 scoring offense. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but we could not score when we needed to.
Well, yeah, that's true. You do have those 4 or 5 games that are just huge point output and then a lot of mediocre ones.
You know what I mean?
Kind of skews the.
How do you lose 13-12 when you're fighting for a playoff spot? Come on. Now, you want to beat me 30-27? Fine. 13-12?
You also lost the snap finger the week before, 24-28.
Yeah, at home. Wow.
Yeah, losing games you should win. Although Texas isn't an easy out, but they struggled too. But that was, I don't know. That's not terrible. He was struggling to try and keep in it at that point too.
Look at how many games are 7 points or less we lost by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And you're 8-8. You only need to win 2 of them, and you're 10-6, probably in the playoffs.
So you think it's your quarterback that's giving you the problems?
I'm done chasing the uber stud QB and paying that kind of money, so I'm probably going to run with Taylor for a little while, but I'm not turning cartwheels, and the fact that he made the Pro Bowl doesn't impress me. He needs to do a little. He needs to win some games. But the thing that I think right now, if you say, okay, what's your weakness, Bob? It's probably the defensive line and the linebackers, the front 7. We did not match up well, and we did not. I guess for a little while we had some turnovers early on, if I remember right. Then I think that just kind of went away. The secondary will cause you some pick sixes and some interceptions, but over the course of a year, I don't think we stopped the run very well. I haven't looked at the stats, but that's my guess. We didn't stop the run very well, and I bet the pass defense wasn't that much better. Middle of the pack, probably not in the top 10. I mean, defensively, we need to get better. So I may have to break one of my rules, and anybody that knows me knows, skill position in round 1. There's a big fat defensive tackle sitting there, and watch people standing there with their mouth open because Red Zone took a defensive tackle in round 1, because I might.
Well, you were good against the pass. You only allowed 54%, 5.88 yards an attempt, 216 yards per game. That was very good. Quarterback passing rating of 74.9. I'm sorry. Take that back. Opponent pass deflect, 74.9. So
defensive tackle in the first round. To me, that's like getting kicker in the first round.
Yeah, I would grab a DT in the first round. I've done it numerous times.
Yeah, I would too. I mean,
hey, Tony, can you imagine the conversation at the water cooler? Hey, man, did you hear? Red Zone took a defensive tackle in round 1. No way. Get the hell out of here. No one's going to believe it. No one's going to believe it.
See, Max, you were saying you would take it? Take a defense.
Oh, I'd take a defensive tackle. It obviously depends on what's there, when the pick comes up. But if the BPA and if there's a true stud defensive tackle in the middle of the first round, yeah, I'd take him. Well, I think the front 7, is huge. If you get a really stout defensive line and that can stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback, I mean that takes a lot of pressure off needing the stud linebackers, stud secondary. I think it all starts in the trenches.
Well, we're picking 14th. We really don't need secondary. I mean, that's pretty set for me, assuming the one guy comes back from injury. I have the running back. I'm not going to chase after a QB, knock on wood. The receivers will be gone by 14. So what am I going to be looking at? Linebackers and defensive line.
Yeah, honestly, between 10 and 20 in the first round, 110 and 120, I think that's the sweet spot for picking up offensive linemen and defensive linemen and getting guys that are really good.
That's the other thing.
I agree.
Offensive line we could use because we had an offensive tackle retire, so that could be a trouble spot too now.
Your running game, you allowed to the left side 5.38 In the middle, you allow 4.58 rushing and 4.16 on the right side. So you gotta.
I honestly think the middle is more where he's got the bigger problem. That even though he's they didn't give up as much yards, you're gonna give up some chunks on the sweep plays. That's a matter of you stop 4 in a row and then they bust one for 20. Well, you still did pretty good by stopping 4 in a row on those sweeps, but it shows the high average. But when you're giving up over 4 yards right up the middle, ugh.
Yep. People lined up and put it to us.
Yep. I mean,
Okay.
like they say, if you can get 4 yards on every run, you're golden. You got a first down every series. So,
See, Max, what happened to your team?
ugh, we are what we thought we were. That's basically yeah. Now, honestly, I mean, the offense wasn't really the issue. We couldn't run for shit, but we still came. We're 16th scoring offense, so I can't put our woes all on the offense. Our defense was just shit. We were 30th in scoring defense, 32nd against the pass. Our secondary is just a wreck.
Yeah, that 32nd against the pass is usually my spot.
Yeah, no, we did. Like I said, I'm big on corners and I'm big on safeties, and I just don't have any on this team yet. I've gone through a few drafts, and the high picks have gone towards skill positions, which I got to stop taking tight ends. I ought not take a third tight end in a row, I think. But I need to start focusing on my secondary because it's awful. I mean, if you look through my secondary, aside from Spencer Cielo, my strong safety, I've got nothing back there. And again, we still have Connor Shea, and he's. It doesn't matter what offense I put him in. I've tried a few different offensive playbooks, styles, and he's just not good.
Yeah, Yakana Shea hasn't been doing anything for you. That is
no,
true.
and I was with the dilemma of okay, I can't franchise tag him. He's on his final year. I can either not pay him and let him go to free agency and get nothing for him, or I can re-sign him to this stupid contract he wants. And they're like, well, I got a new playbook. I'm going to give it a try. So I signed him to the huge money. He still sucks, and now I owe him a ton, and I got to keep him. So, yeah, I don't know.
The rest of your roster looks really good.
Yeah, we got some good players, but where it matters the most, we can't pass the ball. We can't stop the pass. So, well, actually, we can pass the ball, but we can't do it without interceptions and drops. And then my running game is shit, and my O line is old, and yeah, I don't know. We're not going to be better next year, I don't think. I don't know. We got. It looks okay in terms of the, on paper, but Shea's just not cutting it. And like I said, I got to do some with the offensive line. Secondary is garbage. So yeah, I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah, the running game is down at the bottom. You're like right where I am.
Yeah, I don't have terrible running backs. They're nothing special, but they're not terrible. So I honestly think my running woes are, my offensive line. Plus, for some reason, even though I got some pretty smart guys, got a lot of penalties on the offense. The offensive line this year, and the sacks allowed. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I had 3 guys with double-digit sacks allowed. One of them had 19. We're just.
I was really surprised
you're
when you
Pat.
put it up about the teams who were the dumbest teams. Remember that post? I thought for sure we'd be in the top 10, and we weren't. I said, "Wow, okay, so we're not dumb. We just suck." Okay.
Yep, that's pretty much where we're at. We're not dumb, but we just suck. Yeah, I mean,
Your passing defense is bad. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I have it on the screen right now.
It was horrible. I couldn't stop anything. Like I said, but look at my secondary. I mean, there's nobody worth a shit, to be honest. I mean, they got a bunch of garbage in the secondary other than Cielo.
That's something you have to keep banging on.
Yeah.
I had a team that had a really good secondary in the FFL, and I got comfortable and stopped worrying about it. and they started to get old, and one retired, and one got injured, and his career was over, and the next guy started playing less, and another guy dropped, and pretty soon I got a secondary that's no good. And I'm like, wait a minute. It wasn't that long ago. I had a great secondary.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in the RZB this season. I had a couple. I had the two best safeties in the history of the league paired together for like a decade. Plus, I had two or three really nice cornerbacks. I didn't worry about my passing defense for, like I said, a decade, and then they all retired pretty much, within 2 to 3 years of each other. It's, now they're terrible, just like these guys are. But I don't blame myself for this team's secondary. I haven't had the team long enough to blame myself for letting everybody get old. I just haven't been able to replace them yet.
All right. Yeah. No, you want to give us your top guy? I forgot to ask Red Zone this.
Oh, top guy on my team? Shit.
Do you have two?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think. Well, I don't even know. I like my wide receivers, but neither one of them really did good. I don't know. Maybe my young tight end Alvin Maloney. I like him. He's a monster. He did a fairly decent job this season, and then probably the aforementioned Spencer Cielo on defense. Yeah. Actually, honestly, both of my top guys would probably be on defense, and even though my defense sucked this year, I got two guys that I really like. Alexis Dickey, strong side linebacker, and strong safety Spencer Cielo. Both those guys are quality players.
And who is it? Oh, okay, Dickey.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me take this guy over here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's been solid for me. Like I said, he gets some sacks, he gets some hurries. He's pretty decent in the pass defense. I mean, he's an all-around, reliable linebacker.
Okay.
And then, like I said, safety Spencer Cielo, also
it's going to be interesting.
Consistently quality guy.
Watching your draft.
Yeah.
Red Zone, we skipped you on your two guys. Who are your two top guys?
Yeah, I got more than two, but I mean,
I only want two.
If you narrow me down to two, I'm going to have to say running back McIntyre and right guard Zach Kelly. I really thought the two rookie tight ends and the rookie receiver really helped our offense last year, and I still love my 5 secondary guys, but if you corner me, I'd have to go with the running back and the guard. That's what makes the running game go.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
And it does go.
Didn't give up a sack last season. Not bad.
Yeah, he's been I think I told this story in another show. I mean, I took a tackle in round 2, and then I got him in round 3, and they were in my queue in that order. And I come back later, after preseason week 2, and I'm like, I got lucky. Because if somebody would have taken Kelly and I was stuck with that tackle, I wouldn't have had anything. Tackle never worked out. He's still on the roster. Corey Carter, he never turned into anything.
Okay, let's head over to Howie.
And I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Hi.
Where'd you go, Howie?
I'm here.
Okay, just checking.
I haven't gone anywhere. Yeah, what a cluster of a season I had.
Yes.
I was surprised.
You were my racehorse.
You let your QB leave, but he didn't retire. And then you didn't even go back and try and get him at the end of free agency when he was sitting there.
He was still asking for way too much money.
Okay. I mean, I thought at that point you might have got a discount.
No, I mean a little bit, but more money than I was willing to pay him. And I just thought that I would roll with Derek. I mean, he's the quarterback of the future, so I figured, what the hell? Now was the time to pull the trigger on that. I mean, Vital, he wanted like $80 million for 2 years, a year for 2 years in the twilight of his career. Yeah, and I said nope. And then I think he came back and he wanted a renegotiation, was still, 15 between 15 and 20 million a year, and I just didn't want to pay that. My defense is really where I struggled. My run defense was terrible. My scoring defense was terrible. I couldn't figure out how to play defense the first half of the year, and that was frustrating. I started off, my offense wasn't the problem. At the start of the year, I was scoring 30, 35 points a game, but I was letting in 38 points a game. So at some point I figured it out. I started to play a little bit better on defense, but then the offense kind of puttered out a little bit. So it was a season of just ups and downs. And once I started to figure out, what my team was good at in one aspect, they regressed in another. So I always felt like I was behind the 8 ball this year.
Yeah, you were, like I said, you were my horse that I thought was going to the bowl.
I mean, and as poorly as I played, statistically, I wasn't out of the playoff run until I think it was when Outer Banks beat me in week
15.
Week it was. Yeah, 15. And even then, I think I had an outside chance of pulling off a wild card if I went out and got some help. But realistically, I knew I wasn't going to do that. But I think for as poorly as I played, to have an outside chance of the playoffs that late in the season, I was happy with it.
Oh, I think I meant week 11 maybe, because that gave you more games to catch up.
Yeah, maybe whatever, but week 11,
Yes.
week 12, that sounds about right.
Well, it's the same for me. We won week 8. We were on a bye week 9. We beat Williamsburg week 10 and Kansas week 11. And I thought, okay, maybe we could do something. And then we lose to Snapfinger in Texas back to back, beat Orlando and lose to Kansas. I knew when we lost to you, Clay, it was over. I knew right then. I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do anything.
What really hurt me was my tight end, Christopher Darrow, got suspended for a season. Was
I
it
didn't
Darrow?
even notice that.
No, it's Parker Money. Parker Money got suspended for a season. And I really kind of rely on his run blocking bar to help my run game, especially in the 1-2-2 set. So when I didn't have that, it kind of changed the way I game planned a little bit.
Well, shit, he can catch too. He's got great route running and third down.
That's a big loss.
So that was a big loss. Dwayne Brinkley's endurance bar was the one bar that really kind of crashed on me. I had him. I hoped he was going to be on the higher end of the endurance, and he ended up being below the lower end of his endurance. So it took me a good half a season to figure out how I wanted to use him, because putting him in the 1-1-3 set and just having him pound the ball, I could do that, but that's the only set he could be in is the 1-1-3. And that limited how I really envisioned using him when I drafted him. So I played around with putting him in the 104 set along with the 1-2-2 and the 203 and here and there. And, finally, probably around week 8 or week 9, I figured out how to get the most out of him, I think. And then from there, he played pretty well.
Were you running him out of the fullback position at all, or?
Yes, I was.
Be halfback. Okay.
No, I ran him out of the fullback in the 203 set, the 230 set, and the 221 set.
All right.
Yeah, I like what you were doing, that you're trying to figure out your players. Like when you have a losing season, and I'm just going to speak for myself, I'm trying to see what my players can do, what game plan works for the following season. However, I still want to win. I don't want to be below, like 7 and 9. I want to stay above that all the time and find out what works.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't, definitely wasn't like, I'm going to try this and throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. It was, moving from one set to a different set, try to get him more carries, try to get him more targets. I think One thing I ended up doing with him that I actually liked is I put him at the that U spot in the 1-3-1 and ran a reverse with him, and that picked up pretty good yards. Then I could also target him out of that position. So it was fun trying to get the most out of him. And like I said, my goal with my fullback is to get him over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving by year 2, and I had a little over 800 with him and 6 touchdowns. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm back, by the way.
So, you want to give us your top 2 players?
My top 2 players, Curtis Dixon, my wide receiver. That guy's just a stud for me. And the second one, I'd like to say Parker Money, my tight end, but he didn't play for me last year, so that's kind of a cop out. There really wasn't a second guy that I could really enjoyed watching. My linebacker, not Sergio Clavangi, who's my middle linebacker? Edwin Erickson on the defensive side of the ball is kind of he's a solid player.
Okay.
So if I had to pick one offensive guy and one defensive guy, it would be Dixon and Erickson.
All right. Grim?
Yeah,
You were in a tough division. You're up.
I was not expecting Frederick to fall like that, though. But yeah, we've been the toughest division for the last 4 or 5 seasons, I think. Just with Frederick and Brooklyn coming up, and then Chesapeake, obviously, Mike is going to be on our asses every season too. So
why don't you tell us about your team? What happened? What do you like? What do you hate?
well, the one thing I do hate is we lost our starting cornerback and our starting free safety early in the year, and our pass defense is the best it's been in 6-7 years. I don't understand that. But yeah, it was a surprise though too. I figured we had another 8-8 season coming up, and to rattle off the last 5 wins and go 10-5-1, make the playoffs. I mean, that was a good thing.
Yeah, that was.
And then Daniels, the quarterback, he came in and played okay, and then gets us to the bowl and gets humiliated at Kansas and decides to retire. It's like, dude, you're fucking 30 years old. I could have used you for another season,
Second time I've seen that. It happened in the BG Bob in the USFL. He went 16-0 and lost in the bowl, and the QB retired, and I don't think he was even 30.
It's just weird.
Second time I've seen that.
Yep, just weird.
And Daniels didn't play too bad. I mean, he didn't have a great yards per average, but
no, and his completion percentage kind of sucked too. But
we ran the ball pretty good. Got 5 touchdowns running. That's nice.
Yep.
Let's see, Daniels.
23 rated guy.
Got him right here.
Yeah, maybe just figure this wasn't going to be able to fake it through another season.
Right.
I'm going out on top, bitches.
You always have that tie in your record, and I was saying to myself, Grim might not make the playoffs because of that tie.
No, and I ended up being a half game better than you.
Yes.
He ended up making the playoffs because of that tie.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That was pretty shocking too. I thought with my first 2 games away that I came out the gates like that on away games. I really thought we could beat Moontown, and holy shit, no, we couldn't do anything.
Well, and what's weird about your team is you're in a really tough division, and you always play well in the division. I mean, 4-2, but you still came in 3rd in the division, but you're 4-2 against the division. So it's got a weird team, weird losses.
Yeah, we definitely try. But I always say too, Clay, that the playoffs are a whole new season. So, I mean, I'm looking at my team up against yours. I won the last 5. You lost your last 2. Okay, I'm giving up 15.8 points per game on defense. You score 37. I'm giving up 228 yards against the pass. You throw for 387. That's where it's like, fucking game just doesn't make sense to me sometimes.
It doesn't,
Like,
'cause
what the fuck?
I was looking at your team, and I'm like, he doesn't allow points, and he doesn't allow yards. And I thought, you were just going to stuff my team. And
I was hoping.
yeah, but
Well, and the
and
first half looked pretty damn good. Of that game, we just couldn't do nothing in the second half. I mean, you scored, 24 unanswered points in the second half?
Yes.
Just fucking insane.
But everyone,
I was disappointed.
Everyone who was a home team won that week.
Yep. And that doesn't happen very often. At least I don't think it does, as far as I can remember.
But you happy with your team? Yes.
Yeah, like I
no?
said, they played better than I thought they were going to be. I mean, I swore I was going to lose, at least 2 of those last 5, but we hung in there. So, and I guess for favorite players on the team, Wesley Mcelrath, huge help, 2,000 yards for scrimmage, almost 15 touchdowns for a rookie. He actually made my O-line look pretty good. If you look at some of my blocking percentages, I mean, I never have guys in the 40s, and I got Jack Riviere in the 50s. It's like, holy shit.
Riviere and Wong, your left guards.
Yeah,
55.
Vaughn too. And he's, he plays at left tackle, but it's like he doesn't have a good run blocking bar, So I was just like going, holy shit. So maybe having a great running back helps your offensive line as much as the other way around,
It does. Someone did, I forgot where.
It was Joel in
you saw it.
RZB.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
He did kind of analogy of that. So, and
Well,
they
your
turned
offensive line played great again in the passing game too. I mean, you didn't give up many sacks either.
No, 23. I can deal with that. That's less than 2 games. So
Yeah, it's less than the league average for sure.
Yep.
Not too many penalties. Yeah,
Nope, I was on the bottom. I think I was I was on the bottom 10. So for penalties this
Yeah, your
last
defense gave up a chunk, but your offense didn't give up many penalties at all.
Nope, but defense, I got green, yellow, and red guys, and those aren't all the smartest people. So,
How was your turnovers?
we're okay.
+4.
Yeah, we did all right. I think we, didn't get as many turnovers on defense because we lost Gilbert Springs, our Fields, and he's usually good for 6 to 8 interceptions a year, and he went down week 1. So we kind of took a hit, I thought, on what we could have done.
Howie, you have a -24 in turnovers. That's another thing.
Yes. Yep.
So were they fumbles? The QB threw interceptions? You just didn't get any on defense? How did you get to -24?
I just didn't get many on defense this year. I don't think many of my my defensive backs have high interception bars. I know I fumbled a lot.
Yeah, Bone Line threw 23 interceptions as well, so that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's going to leave a mark. And Willie Monroe didn't. He only threw 2. He played a couple of games because of some injury.
And Haynes had a +13. His team.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, 11 takeaways isn't much for a season.
The stat that
The hell did I
surprised
end
me
up at?
for my team for the season
What's that?
was if you look at the linemen, I gave up the fewest sacks in the league in 2106.
Yeah, you only took 16. That's damn good.
Yeah, and I don't consider my line to be that good, so I really can't explain that.
Cohesion. Has to be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, what's your cohesion rating? Let's take a look.
Has that line been together for a while, Tony? All 5 of them, or 4 out of the 5?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Let's look at this.
Most of them have been.
Yeah, very good. It's top 10.
I
I mean, it's
remember,
not great, but it's,
I remember reading a post that Quicksand made. I think it was on FOFC. and he was talking about people going out and signing free agents, the big name free agents, and spending the money in free agency. And he said he loves it when somebody in his division goes out and signs a big free agent guard or tackle, because that guy's going to destroy his cohesion, and he's going to keep his 35 overall guy, and he's going to have better stats, and he's going to run the ball better. And he was on the show, and I brought that up, and he started laughing. He remembered the post, and he said, "That's exactly right. Cohesion is a big deal with the offensive line."
Oh yeah,
especially when it comes to the running game. I mean, it's so important to the running game.
Yeah, I've been number one cohesion on offensive line for a number of seasons now. I'm just keeping all these old guys, and they don't all start every single game every season too, so you can usually keep them from cheaper. Some of these lower endurance guys that I got to switch out once they get tired and shit. So.
And I got to start those guys because I don't have anybody backing up my mediocre offensive lineman.
So
I think it's similar to like, all these people now with these lower rated QBs that are playing so well. Same thing. If he's got a 35 rated offensive guard and that guy's going to have better stats than some free agent that got signed for 15 or 20 million a year, that's got to be along the same lines. There's got to be something going on there with cohesion.
Yeah, that's one thing Justin Grimm, in Williamsburg does real good is he works his cohesion all across the whole team. I mean, I honestly think that and his chemistry stuff that he works so hard on. I mean, between those two things, I mean, he's got his, his O-line, his D-line, and his secondary are all 90 plus. His passing cohesion is 80. I mean, I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that every season, no matter what he's got at quarterback or whatever, it doesn't really matter. He's going to churn out some wins just based on all that cohesion he's built up.
Yeah, and I would think that probably buys me 3 wins a season, 2, 3.
I believe it.
You got it's going to be interesting watching your division, how it's going to be. Brooklyn, Chesapeake, and you?
Oh, don't count Eli out. I think he just, got busy with shit this season. And didn't
he's
pay as
got
much
up and
attention.
down seasons based on how much he can pay attention to it, I think. But when he's focused, he's a threat no matter what he's got on his team.
No, he's got a great roster, and he's a great drafter. So you always look at that shit. I mean, yeah.
He lost. Who's his quarterback?
He plays Cody Gant.
Well, he lost. Oh, I guess he'll sign him. He let him go.
Yeah, again, I think that's where he wasn't participating because there's a number of guys on his team that he didn't re-sign that I thought maybe he would have. Like his running back, Cody Gant, running back is Derek Clayton. I thought he would re-sign him. He's getting old, though. Maybe not. But, yeah.
You got to give it up to Ben. His team was dominant this season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This Terry German.
Yep, that's why the majority of us picked him to go all the way to the bowl this year. I'm going to grab some coffee. Be right back, gentlemen.
Go ahead. He was just off the charts. I think he put up, what was he averaging? 30 points per game? 31 points per game? Ben?
Let's see here. What do we got?
Yeah, his defense was really solid throughout the year.
Yeah, his defense too. Like the last.
Oh yeah,
game.
31.1 points a game. Yeah.
And I mean, how much his defense was giving up? Like 19.
Well, no, defense actually slipped a little bit towards the end of the season. Ended up with 22.8 points per game.
Oh, okay.
His passing defense slipped a bit, but in terms of total defensive yards, he was number 6. So I mean, he didn't give up a lot of yards. He was good against the run. Gave up some points. At the end of the season, the last 5 games, he had 3 games where he gave up more than 30 points. But for the most part, the first half of the season, he was doing real, real well there. But his defense struggled a little bit towards the end. But offensively, he was unstoppable.
He was. And then Augusta, is that Brian Sawblade?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do better this season. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but I can see him being back in the race. I know what it was. It was Rhodes, his quarterback. He is also having problems with his quarterback. Like you,
Yeah.
Max.
Well, he's actually, I don't know. I mean, 61% completion percentage. I mean, the interceptions is a problem. 21 TDs, 16 interceptions. But he didn't throw the ball that much. I mean, shit, he only had 436 attempts on the season.
I know he's not happy with him. I think he's on the market. Is he? Who put their quarterback on the trade block?
Well, shit, if he's on the trade block, I might have to go after him.
I think
Rochester put his quarterback on a trade block,
that's who it is. I take that back, see, Max.
and that guy's good.
What do we got over in Rochester?
That's something Witten or something like that.
Yeah, Derek Whitten.
Derek Whitten.
Yeah, of course, I just spent all that money on Shea, so I'll have to get a huge cap hit, but I might have to figure something out. I don't know if I can do another season with Shea.
Yeah, go after this guy.
Well, like Gant doesn't look terrible either.
Toronto also had a good season. He was my second pick. It was Ben and then Toronto that
And
I
I
thought
was
could go.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at Toronto, but then I discounted Livingston for some freaking reason. So, and Kodos really got that team roaring this year again. It's like, Jesus.
What happened in playoffs with him? He lost to
He lost to Tucker in the conference game.
by 5 points only.
Yep.
I was going to say Ben happened to Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the game where Ben got like 7 or 8 sacks and 10 hurries, and
That's right.
yeah.
Yep.
Also, I got to tell you, Julio with his quarterback, Gutenberg. Have you seen his quarterback, by the way? Got him in the 6th round. Cold Town Killer. Okay? 37 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, passing rating 96.5.
Isn't that fucking insane?
How do you do that with that guy?
And he doesn't
Good.
he doesn't even have any super great wide receivers either.
Oh, look at that
Accuracy and timing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Red Zone, do you want to chime in? I know you're itching. I can feel you. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was kind of distracted by another call. What am I itching to do here?
We got Julio's quarterback on the board here. I know how you feel about these types of quarterback. He's got this quarterback lining up the field.
You know what? I like these QBs. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. Look at Darryl Taylor. I got a guy just like this in FFL. He's probably going to play this year. I mean, I want that timing bar. I'm going to have it from now on. And if you get timing and sense rush, that to me is the mix. But timing and accuracy is not bad, and his sense rush isn't horrible. I also like the scramble bar. He doesn't have that. I like the third down bar, but I mean, now I'm getting greedy. But it starts with that. I think it's the timing sense rush mix with the scramble bar. That's what T-Zach preaches.
Yeah, timing, accuracy, and sense rush for me, and I think that's where I'm dying with Shea. He's got a 1 for timing.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Well, Burt did take 36 sacks this year and 40 overall for the season, so that's just terrible. But if you're putting up those points,
well, yeah, it's a lot of sacks to take, but he passed the ball a lot. He doesn't have a huge sense rush bar, so you're going to take some sacks. But shit, if you put up 37 touchdowns, I'll take my 70 sacks a season.
Yeah.
Hey, Clay, you know the bar I want?
What's that?
Wins.
Yes. Yes. But I got to give Julio credit Good job. He took his team. He got a 6th-round pick quarterback, and he's winning games.
Yeah, the question will be is, how many seasons can he repeat that? Is that a fluke, or does he carry it on next season? If he no, he's had 2 pretty good seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if he I don't know if he was replicating his 2105 numbers, I wouldn't call it a good thing. But if he can keep on, replicating 2106, shit.
Agree. We'll watch him. He's going to be someone to look out for. And then Merchant, man, he was doing so well.
8-0, man. God damn it.
The wheels fell off.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah, his defense just fell apart on him. Well, his offense just fell apart on him. God, everything fell apart on him.
8-0 to losing 5 in a row. Just unbelievable.
A tough loss to Bordeaux. He only put up 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah, Julio piss pounded him the next week. But most of those losses were fairly close games.
He lost to Bordeaux twice. That was the killer.
Yeah. No, especially that last game, 20-0. I mean, your offense can't score anything after scoring 24 and 34. It's just wow. Yeah. I think he was my alternate pick to make it to the bowl. So
he got Evan Drake playing well.
Yes, he did.
Then we have Sween Dog. You were talking about him, Grim.
Yeah, no, I like Atlanta. I mean, I picked Chris to win this year, but
that was dumb.
But just after Kevin drafted Copeland and he still got those 2 great wide receivers, I thought he could start pulling some shit together here, and he kind of proved it. And he did that with old man Norris for 12 of those games, and now he's in free agency. So, and I'm looking for a quarterback, so I may have to do something there.
I think I would go get Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman's still out there. I could also maybe hit up Bob for fucking Benson. I think Benson's a blue guy, so he'd probably fit in with my shit.
Purple.
He's going cheap.
Purple blue debate.
Red Zone offered me a 5th round to take him, but I said no.
Oh, you give me I don't got to give up shit, huh?
Hey, wait a minute. Benson's available.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Except Clay just said you were going to give him Benson and a 5th rounder for nothing, just to get him off your team.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far now. I'll tell you what. I'll give you
Maybe a
Benson.
6th rounder.
I'll give you Benson and my 7th rounder for you first. How about that?
Yeah, couldn't give up He's got no timing.
Yep.
Yeah, don't do it. No, sorry. No, what am I saying?
At this stage, my guess is he's mid to late 3rd round value.
Yeah, I could see that.
Somebody called up and said, "Hey, Bob, I'll give you a 3rd. Give me Benson." I'd say, "Okay, let's just get it over with." I really don't want him here, but I ain't gonna cut him. I mean,
no, that's too much to cap hit to cut him.
It's not so much the cap hit, but I mean, what happens if Taylor goes down week 4?
Yeah, having Benson as a backup would be good because he's been there a few years. So,
Grim, take him from him. That way, I don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, like I said, I got options. Norris is out there. Freeman is out there. Benson may be tradable, so I have to look into it. I really wish Ben his flight didn't get delayed that first day, so we could have at least looked at the draft and shit, this weekend.
Right.
That's a bummer. But
well, as long as we're talking about all the quarterbacks that are available for trade, I think I've done a pretty good job of selling people on Shea, so he's available too.
Well, no, all you do is talk about how bad he sucks. That's not something you want to talk about with the guy you want to trade.
Well, yeah, but I want to be honest when I'm doing these shows, and he sucks. But if anybody wants him, thinks they can do better than me with him, he's available.
There are people that
ham sandwich, 7th round pick.
There are
Bag of
people that
Doritos.
look at Shea and might say to themselves, "I can do better with him."
I don't know that they could do worse with him. And like I said, I'm open to moving him. I got a huge money in him now. I probably would have to get a decent offer to move him, but honestly, I would love it if somebody offered something.
Yikes! Look at that contract.
But I don't know that I could actually trade him because he's higher than a 55 rated guy, and I don't have anybody behind him that looks like the surefire replacement. I don't know that Ben would veto that.
Can you make a trade? Like, let's say you want to trade Shea, but you're trading also to get a quarterback that's also 55. Would Ben
Yes.
allow that?
I think he'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Just because
Okay.
I think the issue is he doesn't want you trading away, guys that are clear starters when you don't have clear replacements. But if you're getting a clear replacement in the trade, I think you'd probably be fine with it.
Yeah, maybe we see a Shea for Benson trade.
Well, I don't want to trade a guy with no timing for a guy with no timing. That doesn't make any sense at all. Here, let me just take another guy that's just like Shea and eat this bonus.
Harlem.
Another up and comer.
Yes, he is. He's got a stout roster.
Yeah, he's got a good team.
He just
Well,
has
and
to get a quarterback.
I thought North Plainfield might have been a fluke, last year and or the year before. That's why I didn't pick him to do shit this year. And fucking there he is, 12-4 again. But yeah, Harlem's XCOM's got that team going the right direction. But again, that division just turned into my division that I'm in, and every year is going to be a battle now, especially with BG Bob coming up now and getting a grip on his team after a couple seasons. So,
Well, I could see XCOM going after a quarterback. He's going to need one for his team. He's got the rest of his roster set. He just needs a quarterback. And then we have North Plainfield. His quarterback has been doing well as well. It's been decent.
yeah, Hamadan.
Yep. He's
Yes,
young,
bad.
got some potential. Accuracy, timing, sense rush are all fairly decent.
So yeah, that division is going to be another
Nice,
one
6'5".
like
I
yours.
didn't realize how tall that dude is. I'd love to have that guy. 6'5", 240. Just a beast.
24 years old still. It's going to have him for a long time.
And he runs a 4.5, 440. Shit.
He's a scrambler too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that guy.
And then you have Houston, who is the other winning team. We had 18 winning teams this season, by the way. 18 winning records.
Isn't it crazy?
And this is Houston. Now Houston has this quarterback. I think he got him in the first round.
Yeah, I was trying to move up to get that guy.
Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, he's going to be set for a while with him.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah. The only problem with a quarterback like that is he's definitely a pocket passer. So you got to have a good offensive line pass protection for a guy like that because he's not going to take off and run.
Well, he only took 11 sacks in 10 games, so
He's got good sense rush.
yeah.
Yep.
And he look at his O-line. I mean,
Yeah, that's just it. The O-line,
Chase Lonier,
you got to have
Marty
great
Thorpe,
O-line.
Kendall Carpenter. I mean, he's got 380 rated guys. Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
That's interesting, Clay. 18 winning teams with a winning record. And I went and looked. 2105, there was 15. 2104, there was 12.
Huh.
It
Better
seems
than
like
the league.
everybody's been building their team and getting it better and better. Or maybe
Yeah,
these
the
chats.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Oh, God, the competition is just getting fucking fierce now. It really is.
Well, the longer somebody's on a team, the tougher they're going to be. They're going to know their team better. That just
Also,
seems the
also
reason.
these chats when we talk, we tell strategies, so people eat that up.
I'm telling you, look at shit.
Just
Right now,
do not listen to my strategy. Don't work.
Shut your ears. So Clay, you didn't talk about Kansas yet.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Don't forget to do that.
We heard enough about Kansas. How about Iowa's quarterback?
We're just going to move on here. Damn, he's a good moderator.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that.
I wanted to talk about all the winning teams, like Brooklyn's next, but I just wanted to talk about Iowa for a minute. Their rookie quarterback that he doesn't like because I think Grimm or C-Max said something.
Oh, I think a bunch of us made fun of his height.
Oh, I hate short quarterbacks. I mean, I'm not saying
too.
you can't do good with them, but I hate them. I've never been able to do shit with them.
And I don't think I've ever really played a short quarterback. I just seen everybody else struggle with them, so I never fucking touched them.
I mean, there are some anomalies, but I think they're truly anomalies. I think if you're under 5'11" or under, you're doomed.
Isn't he 5'10"?
Yeah,
Yep, 5'10".
he's on the short side.
Yeah.
But he's got to have some more pieces put in place. I mean, he doesn't have a running back, he doesn't have a tight end really, he doesn't have a great wide receiver. So get get him developed and get more of those pieces around him. I think he's going to, be a pain in your guys' asses, in the next couple seasons.
I think he's got some potential just based on the fact that he is a scrambler and he's super fast. And if he can figure out an offense that gets that guy to run a little bit too, I mean, 4.3, 140, that dude's just blazing fast.
See, but is he ever going to be like Toronto's quarterback, Zimmerman?
Oh, Livingston, you mean?
Livingston, yeah.
I don't
think so.
No, I don't think he's going to be a passing quarterback to that respect. But I mean, he could maybe be all right if he keeps a solid offensive line and gets the cohesion. But like I said, I think as a dual threat, if he can figure out how to get that guy to run.
That's a tough call, though. I mean, what do you do? He picked him at 1-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you're sitting at 1-2. The other QB went at 1-1. This guy's sitting there.
I would probably pick him and see if I can make him work.
He's 5'10", I can't win with him, so I'm going to pick somebody else, and then you watch somebody else win with him. I mean, no win. You can't win that situation.
Yeah, he's got generational type bars. He's got generational type combine scores. He's just short. I don't know. I can't blame him for taking him at 1.2. I mean, I would have hated pulling the trigger myself, but I'd have probably taken him there if I was given the option.
I think most people would have to. That's a guy that's just really hard to pass on. Would you trade up for him and give up 3 firsts? No. But you're sitting there and he falls in your lap. Well,
and nobody's offering you 3 firsts to get him. Right. Then you take him. Otherwise, you can live with yourself if you take a guy that looks like he's going to be a superstar and he doesn't pan out because he looked like he's going to be a superstar. But can you live with yourself if you give up a superstar and watch somebody else succeed with him?
Ooh,
I can't.
That's a good one.
I agree with you. That's harder.
Yes.
Especially if they're in your division.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because he wrote in the forum, I hate short quarterbacks. He's not happy with this guy right now.
I think we got in his head about that a little bit because isn't he newer to multiplayer?
No, he's played for years.
Oh, has he in multiplayer? Okay.
Years,
but
years.
2 years of 18 interceptions and less than 15 touchdowns. I mean, it's got to be tough, but he's also young. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it turns around for him. I'm pulling for him. I hope he does turn out to be a decent
quarterback. For him. I'm totally not pulling for him.
We're not pulling for him. What are you talking about?
Hey, I'm in a totally different conference and I suck, so I'm pulling for the underdog here.
I hope he trades him to your conference, to your division, and then
if he wants to trade him to me, I will give him Shea, who's nice and tall, and we'll just call it even.
I'll give him Shea and maybe a first-round pick. That'd be worth it.
I'd probably do that. I can't imagine him wanting to do it, but I'd probably do it.
Oh, I hear the phone calls going back and forth.
Hey, I'm willing to move Shea, and I'm willing to give up my draft picks to get a good quarterback because I honestly think I need one.
You can hear in the background, San Antonio Title Force can help you.
Hey, it's top 10 pick. I got a top 10 pick in the first. I don't know.
Brooklyn. I got to hand it to him. He's been doing good. Jupes. Is it Jupes or Jopes? Jobs.
I think it's Jobs. I don't know. That's what I call him.
That's what I always call him.
He's got this quarterback, Adams.
Yeah, and I can't believe he's got that guy going as good as he does.
I don't know. You don't look that bad.
He's got some bars, no short
Yeah,
pass.
accuracy, timing, sense, rush are all above 50. I mean, he
It's
can't do
rambling
short passes,
fast.
but what's his offensive play style? I mean, I hope he's not playing a West Coast, but well, I guess I shouldn't say I hope because he's still doing fine with it. But
He's doing Air Coryell.
yeah, that's a perfect quarterback for the year, Coryell.
Yeah, he went 13-3 this season, 404 yards he put up. He only allowed 313, so he had a good defense going.
Yeah, his defense was really the kicker this year.
He went.
I know his competition was not easy, so
He went 5-1 in his division and 7-1 at home. What happened to him in the playoffs? Who did he run into?
He.
Oh, there you go. Out of Banks. Haynes.
He got smoked.
yeah, I'm surprised I smoked them the last game of the season. That was nice. It's always good to beat Chops.
Oh, you did. 37-3. Oof. But he's got his team on all cylinders.
Yeah, aside from that last game, I mean, he was putting up points like nothing.
Yeah, that division is man, that's a tough division.
I know. He's got
Yeah,
Chesapeake coming up. Yeah, Grim, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I don't want to be in that division anymore.
Oh, you love it. Don't give me that shit.
No, I do. I do
it.
love the competition, but for so many years it was just me and Quick. You know, Brooklyn, whoever had that team in Frederick, they never really paid attention, so it was always just me and Quick. And now having two other teams that at any time could go 10-6 to 14-2, 15-1. I mean, Jesus. And I knew Quick was Quick was my pick to go all the way to the bowl. I knew he would turn shit around this season, even though he didn't think he'd be able to. But 12-4, I mean,
I look at
who goes 12-4 and doesn't have the number one seed? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I look at Quick and think of him a lot like Ben. I mean, it doesn't matter. Every year he's going to be competitive. I mean, he might have an off season here or there, but he's just too good of a GM to not be in the thick of it every season.
Yeah, he was Mike and Ben and Elf and MIJB are the only four original members of this league still left. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good season. Humphreys, his quarterback, got him playing well.
He had his defense just playing great too.
Yeah, 286 points allowed. Well, you and Grim, your team with your defense, and Quick's team with their defense was stout.
yeah, we had it going on this year. So
Now you just got to get rid of those two, that corner and that safety that were bumped from the team to help you get there. And I happen to be in the market for cornerbacks and safeties. See,
what do you got? 1-9? I'll take.
yeah, I'm not
1-9
giving you 1-9.
for Gilbert Fields. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well,
But we can talk.
Fields ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I like him. Any guy that gets you 6 to 8 interceptions a year, you can't dump that.
No, especially if he fits into your chemistry scheme.
Mm-hmm. He's actually my leader, which I don't really like because he doesn't have great personality, but you know, I'll fit pieces around him that work. So
What do you guys think of Colorado?
He was good this year.
I think he's good when he pays attention. I think the year in between he had a good season, and then last season didn't he slip a little? And this year he was back. I think if he gets busy and distracted, his team's ordinary. But if he's paying attention, he's been around a long time. He's a good GM.
yeah,
Last season,
this year and last year he made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
Wild
last
card and then the division. But I think that Jamison Ward is what's helping him out. I know he couldn't figure out how to use Drake and tried to trade him for a few seasons before MIJB grabbed him. But Jamison Ward, I think he's liking him.
But he's not doing any nothing special. His quarterback. His quarterback's pretty awful.
Yeah, honestly, he's played a lot like Daniels for you. I mean, decent but not great.
Well, I always look at completion percentage because I can't get a guy to complete over 55, and they're usually hovering around 50 to 52. So just looking at that 61% makes me go, I'd probably use the guy.
His average per attempt is 5.97.
But he's
22 touchdowns, 18 interceptions.
But he's another shorty too, 5'10".
Ooh, yes.
Well, there's a 5'10" guy that's producing better than that 1.2 pick.
Oh, this guy was drafted 112.
Wow, 112.
Yeah, for some reason.
Oh yeah, didn't his bars originally look like he's gonna be a 75 rated guy type guy?
I think his bars took a drop, if I remember correctly.
Well,
yeah.
But looking at compare the two quarterbacks. They're bring Bolitnikov back up.
Okay.
I'll be right back, Jensen.
Bring him down. Okay, they're up.
Right, so Bolitnikov, he's a short pass quarterback. Ward's a rollout quarterback. They're both 5'10". So
got to be a rollout guy for a 5'10".
Yeah, you get yourself outside the tackles, you can see the field a little bit better, as opposed to a short pass guy who might be more of a pocket passer.
And they can
I
both
don't
run.
know how much the game takes that into account, but I mean, in a real world, it would make sense if you're a guy that likes to get outside the tackles. Height doesn't matter so much because now you can see the field, as opposed to sitting behind your 6'4" guards and not being able to see the field.
Yeah, well, and if you look at it too, I mean, in terms of, obviously Bolitnikov looks like he's going to be the better quarterback in the long run, but in terms of currently developed, where the red bars are, they're very, very similar.
So
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Howie, you make a good point.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's too bad that he's not a rollout guy. You think a short guy like that almost have to be a rollout guy in order to really succeed as a passer.
Oh, Colorado brought his team to 10-6, and then Jugs with Oakland, he went 10-6 as well. He's always up there in the playoffs, but he missed the playoffs, did he not?
I believe.
Yeah,
I think he missed out. Yeah, he missed out by that tiebreaker, the tie that Williamsburg got.
This is the league where 10 wins is not going to get you in the playoffs.
Oh, it will, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, you got to win your division.
Yes. And all his quarterbacks are gone. I guess he's letting Haskin retire.
You can't really blame him.
Yeah, he did his time.
I'm sure he wants a lot of money, and it's hard to pay a guy like that a lot of money.
So it's the changing of the guard. It's going to be interesting seeing all the new quarterbacks coming in and seeing how they play.
Yeah, I would guess he's going to be a player in free agency for one of those quarterbacks. I would hope.
So with my team, yeah, I actually thought we were going to go 9-7. The season before we went 8-8, and so I thought we'll get one more win. If my wide receiver would have kept his bars, I saw us having two more wins at 10-6, and we finished at 10-6. Quarterback play from Starks, can't complain. I got to get his interceptions down. It's too high. So
Who are your best two players, Clay?
My defensive tackle, Morrison, and my safety. Here, let me get him out.
Yeah, Morrison had another beast mode season.
Yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah, look at that dude.
And
14 sacks.
And my safety, I like safeties.
Yeah,
me
they're good for, if you can get a safety with the big zone bar, the big run defense bar, the big interception bar, you're golden. You get the picks, you get the tackles. Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, Clay, I still want Werfel off of your ass too.
Who?
Miles.
No.
Miles Werfel.
No, he's not going anywhere.
He's beautiful. He's green. He's everything I want.
I know. This guy right here.
Look at that man.
Oh yeah, look at him.
He fell off a little this season. I'm hoping that next season, you had that sophomore slump. He comes back. But yes. So yes, my two defensive players turn out to be my guys I love. I love defense. I'm a defense kind of guy. I put more weight, maybe 55% towards defense and 45 towards offense, because if I can hold teams from scoring, I just have to put up more points than that I'm holding them.
Well, I want to know how the hell you got that Steve Osterlund to get so many receiving yards. Catches, 94, 1,300 yards. It hasn't even looked that good. And he's brand new on your team this year, so that's making your cohesion go down. It's just like, what the fuck?
I've been doing different game plans, and I have about 10 game plans and that I work on to try to get certain players involved in a certain way. Like, I'll give you an example. You're looking at him. Yes, he's a new guy, and I was able to put up 1,300 yards with him. And then look at my tight end. It doesn't look like much.
Oh, no, he killed me in the playoff game, too, if I remember correctly.
And the season before, he gave me 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. This year, 600. He dropped a little bit. I think I can get him even higher, not higher. I think I can get him between 600 and 800 next season.
Yeah, getting downfield and route running.
Get downfield, route running, adjust the ball, and
pretty much the same thing with Osterlund too.
Yeah, I have no receivers. It's like a desert with me.
Well, clearly you don't need them.
But that's my team. I'm happy where they're going, and let's see next season. Anyone with a surprise team that you thought was going to do well but actually sank to the bottom?
I'm surprised that Moontown didn't win more games.
Yeah, he's got the 1-1 quarterback.
Yeah. No. He's got the 1-2 quarterback. I'm just surprised he didn't win more games. Like, I know that
he's got a lot of talent on that team.
Let's look at his team.
He's got a really good running back as well.
All right, there's
Shelton.
Yeah, Shelton's awesome.
Yeah.
No, he's pretty stacked throughout. I can see him being a danger here next season or the season after. Looks like he probably needs to grab a tight end and a wide receiver, but
he went. His record is 3-12, so he's picking.
Who?
Was he picking at?
No, 3.
He's
He'd be number 3.
3. So if there's
he should be able to get a wide receiver there.
Yeah.
Or a tight end. I take either at that point.
If there's a superstar tight end, I wouldn't reach for a tight end at 1.3. What's he got a running back? He's set there.
A stud.
Oh, this guy.
You have to play him.
But he's also 30. He's also 30, so if could consider if there's no wide receiver at 1.3, could take a superstar running back, but that'd be tough.
Yeah, and Shelton kind of fell off this season too. They got more touchdowns but less yards.
Well, he also got 80 less carries.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Capital also has a top quarterback. Am I correct on that? Capital City?
Tommy Johnstone, yeah.
Yeah, he got a young quarterback top of the draft a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, he's just not doing anything with them yet.
Yeah, Mike said there's no reason for him not to be slinging the ball around now with that rating,
Yeah, so you got 2 top quarterbacks in your division. It's going to be interesting seeing next season this season how they do. And I believe, he doesn't have any wide receivers.
No, he doesn't have much for skill players anywhere. Running back, tight end, or wide receiver.
The shock
He got
is
some
for me.
defensive tackles, though.
What's that?
He's got some defensive tackles.
Yeah, Dwayne Downs is beast.
I don't really see any. Oh, wow, look at that guy. Holy shit.
That's the best rating I've ever seen in a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think I've seen a kicker that was a 99 once.
I mean, Bob.
The best actual player.
He also has, is that O'Donnell?
Yeah. But no, this guy was drafted at 1-4. Bob, you telling me you wouldn't take a guy like that at 1-4?
I just said it earlier. I'm probably going to do that this year.
Yep.
But look how much he's paying him. Like, that's the big thing too.
Yes.
Sick.
Well, that's what I've always said. Though.
Oh, shit.
People
he's got
and they draft these defensive linemen in the top 10, and then they think that when they get to year 3 or year 4, they're going to be able to trade them. And other people are saying, "Wait a minute, you want me to give you a first-round pick for this guy and then pay him $30 million when I can take my first-round pick and draft somebody just like him?" That's why you don't do it all the time.
Well, this guy's making
bad
$77 million.
Well, that's not to say that
that's why I don't
one guy,
do it.
one season, one guy to anchor your line for the next 10 years. Sure, you can do that. But there are people that do it every
routinely.
single year, and then they whine because they can't trade him.
Hold on. He's getting paid $77 million. Let's see something. Let me see my guy. What am I paying him? 34.
It's going to go up soon.
Yeah, after.
It's going to go up real
Now
soon.
that there's one of those guys out there getting paid $77 million, demands are going to go up across the league.
Well, he's got to
and-
re-sign him
and
this
when,
year.
When you look at that guy, I mean, look at Downs. He's got 5 sacks and 57 tackles. I mean, how much money do you actually want to pay a player that gets you 5 sacks and 57 tackles? That's just not a lot of defense.
That's true. I
How
would
many
assume.
Well, if I could get 57 tackles out of my defensive tackle or a nose tackle type guy, I mean, that's pretty good for a defensive tackle. But if he's not generating sacks or
How many hurries?
I mean,
did
he
22.
generates some pressure, but not nearly enough to justify $70 million.
you got to put the hurries in there too. Though, how many hurries did he have?
22,
22.
which is good, but still,
Which
I mean,
is good.
I wouldn't pay a defensive end for 22 hurries.
$77 million is probably a lot for this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see 35, 40 million if he's going to be the guy that you're, building your whole defensive line around. 77 million.
I can see that, I can see that for Clay's guy, not for this guy.
I wonder if he's going to go down with his asking price. 1, because he's 29, and 2, because he did less in sacks last season.
I'm going to guess no. They don't go down; they go up.
Yeah, I'm guessing he'll be asking for at least 50 million for the first season in free agency. He's probably going to want like 50, 55, and then by the end of the 4 or 5 years, he's going to want like 70 million again. The question is whether anybody will actually pay it to him, because if he makes it to the late free agency, that'll probably get cut in half.
Because I know, Grim, you have who's your guy, your defensive player that's a monster? Owens?
Antonio, yeah.
There he is. Look at Owens. What is he getting paid?
44 this year.
44.
44, then 42, then 47. Yeah, I mean, for a guy putting up that kind of production, sure.
Yeah, no, still my favorite player. I mean, that 19 sacks this year was a little fluke because he took it to Fort Wayne, I think,
That's 6.
week 16 and got 6 sacks.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know about fluke. I mean, 89 sacks in 7 seasons, or 6 seasons, really. That's not a fluke.
Mm-mm.
He's just a stud.
No, but I want him to do better for what I'm paying him. So 19 sacks I'm fine with, but he needs to have 15 or more for me to be like, hey, you're the guy,
The question
Shit, I don't
is,
think I've had 15 sacks by any player on my team since I've had them.
the question is, if Owens wanted $77 million, are you paying him, Grim? That's the question.
I mean, if tomorrow I had to re-sign him to that, yes. Yeah, I probably would pay that.
Okay. I would.
I'd consider it. It just depends on what I was sitting at, who else I had to sign, what kind of money I had. And do you pay a guy like that $77 million if you're in my boat where you need so many other things before you're competitive? Why would you pay a guy $77 million if he's not going to get you to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, for Cap City, I would probably try to trade downs this year and get a couple picks and work on that offense and shit to get the team going.
See, I'm on the other side of the fence. $70 million? No. Have fun on your next team. Nobody's getting that kind of money from me.
I'm with Bob all the way.
Not doing it. I don't care who you are. You better be the guy that's winning the games. It better be clear that you are the reason we're winning.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have that guy right now.
He had 19 sacks, Owens, and I'm looking at Williamsburg turnover rating. He caused 10 fumbles. How many fumbles did he cause from those 19 sacks that Williamsburg got that allowed them to win the game? That's the point. That's the key issue to look into.
I get it, but you can take a linebacker and switch him to defensive end and get almost the same player. Every draft, there's 2 or 3 guys doing it.
Well, if you click on Grimm's player, you can go to his miscellaneous defense and see forced fumbles, right?
Okay, let's do that.
My thing is, that's $77 million is not the only way to find that player. There's other guys.
Yeah, for $77 million, maybe you can find 3 guys that
Yep. I mean,
all the way over.
can get you 10 sacks each.
Miscellaneous. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, forced fumbles. Oh, he only had one this year.
Oh, I take that back.
Like I said, it was a down year for him outside of those 6 sacks.
He's trash. Get rid of him.
Yeah, 13 and a half sacks. That's a down year.
He's going on the block. He's only 27.
I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just don't think $77 million fits into my budget. Sorry.
No, hell no. No, it'd be really tough. I wouldn't want to do it, but like I said, I guess I have to have that kind of a player on my team first, and then decide if I was going to do it or not. But I don't have that kind of player on my team.
Well, it's kind of like Biletnikoff, the QB. You're sitting there at 1-2, and he falls in your lap. You have to take him. Well, if this guy's on your roster already, and he says, "Hey, I want $77 million to re-sign," and you're like, "Well, wait, I can't live without him." Then maybe you have to pay him. Maybe it's a different situation. But in free agency, short bidding.
No, shit, no. I never win anybody in free agency because there's always somebody willing to pay people so much more than I would ever consider. Any of the top players, anyway. It's amazing to me how much some of those guys go for.
Yeah, it's and then you have the guy that has $100 million in cap that he didn't spend, and the guy that's spending 40, 50, 60 million on a player every year and signing him.
Yep.
Look at his cap, Capital City's cap next season.
You got all kind of money?
Well, he's got this season, I meant, $213 million.
Unspent.
So why didn't he already re-sign that guy?
Because he wanted $77 million.
Well, he might have. We just haven't. He very well might have. We just haven't advanced the stage yet to, open up the draft and go to a free agency.
Well, he wouldn't. If you re-signed him, he'd had to do it before game 1. He's going to free agency because this is the final year of his. This was. Oh no, actually, I take that back. We don't
he's
know.
Not in free agency.
Now that it's rolled over, yeah. So he's got him for this season. So he might still re-sign him.
I think he's going to stay where he is and
go for less
and pick a wide receiver if they're out there as a draft. I don't think he's going to trade down.
Again, it just depends on what's there, I suppose.
Yes.
I am guessing that Downs is going to take a little bit less money.
Oh, he'll take a pay cut. Yeah, I wasn't realizing that. He's not going to free agency. I bet you he'll end up probably only paying him about $45 million this year when all's said and done if he resigns him. But even that, $45 million is pretty steep for a guy that's getting 5.5 sacks.
What do you guys think of the QB in Rochester? He's on the trade block.
I like him.
Didn't you even trade him?
Well, I don't know how he's going to do it. He's going to have to get somebody that's a capable starter in the deal.
Yeah,
Then
there's no way he can trade him unless he picks up a 55 rated guy to replace him.
He's in the last year of his contract, isn't he?
And he probably wants $80 million a year.
And how much cap space does he have left?
88 million.
Yeah,
so he's got the room.
Yeah, I don't think Ben would let him trade that guy unless he can get somebody, at least 55 plus to replace him with. Wonder if he wants Shea.
Now, how many first rounders would you put with Shea to get him?
I'd probably give up a couple firsts plus Shea. Maybe, I don't know. If he didn't want Shea, well, he'd have to take Shea in order to make it work, I suppose.
I wouldn't. He's already starting to regress.
Yeah, well, so is Shea. Shea never got anywhere to regress from.
Yeah, are you really gonna give up 2 draft picks to get a quarterback in year 10 who's already on the downslide?
Yeah, but
probably. Honestly, he's 31. He's got
31.
Maybe 5-6 seasons left.
Yep.
I might be willing to give up a couple firsts, because by the time he retires, I'd be past that phase. I'm also speaking from desperation of having played the last few years with Shea as my quarterback, just being frustrated all year long. But then again, you look at Witten's production; he really hasn't done much. So I don't know.
Well, some teams can't get a quarterback to work, and some teams can.
Well, see, that's where I'm not sure either. In the fact that maybe Shea's not the problem, maybe I'm the problem, which is entirely possible. But I can't get rid of myself, so.
You can quit.
Well, yeah, but
He's looking for that guy that fits your system.
Yeah, well, like Haynes did there with Outer Banks. I had like I said, I had Outer Banks for like 50 seasons, and we were just fucking terrible. I could never find a quarterback, and now I feel like I'm in the same boat with San Antonio, and maybe it's me.
You can always Rex it.
I'm not doing that. Then why even bother playing?
Well, no. Not every single game. I mean, sometimes when I get super frustrated when I'm going through 3 or 4 games in a row where just nothing's working, I will Rex an offense and I'll Rex a defense, and then I'll go and I'll look and I'll see what worked better and what didn't, and then I kind of get a better sense of what my team can do. You don't Rex it every single time, but sometimes if you're really struggling and you can't figure it out, if you let Rex take over, it gives you an idea of what your team's good at, and then based off that game plan, then you can start branching off and coming up with other game plans.
Well, that's true. That might work. Honestly, like I said, I shouldn't scoff at any advice because I've been terrible. So I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I found for years in my first several years playing is that I wanted to, in my mind, I wanted to do something that my team was not designed, that was not good at doing.
Oh, sure.
So I was fighting it, and I wasn't going anywhere. And I said, screw it, I'm going to Rex this game and see what happens. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, God, I won that game. Why did I win that game? Okay, I'm throwing a lot more deep out routes when I was trying to run the post route. Okay, so let's not put the post route in. Let's hit more outs. Okay, and then you start playing better. And then the next year you make a playbook based off of that, and you just take little steps forward.
I think my issue here with that is like both of my offensive and defensive coordinators have terrible play calling. So I've always been reluctant to give Rex a chance. But if I end up getting, I'm going to have to do something with my defensive coordinator this year, regardless. So I might start trying to Rex my defense, because my defense was absolutely fucking terrible this year, and I put in a game plan every game, thinking that it was going to, and it never improved. So I need to do something with my defense. Maybe Rex is the answer.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to take off.
All right, man. Good to have you.
Later on, man.
Red Zone. Always fun having you here.
Yeah, have a great night, brother.
Love having the shows. Let me know when the next one is.
Right on.
See you guys.
Take it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually probably going to have to follow him out the door. I can hear the wife out there banging around. I think she's trying to let me know that my time is up.
We're going to cut it short as well. I just wanted to say one last thing. The one person I was shocked about was Arizona.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that they had a tough season, but that was a really tough season.
And
what do you think happened?
His quarterback is awful, as you can see.
La Starza?
Yeah, he's been decreasing in value.
Yeah, he just went down last year a few rating points. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from going to the conference game 2 seasons ago, 3-13 to 0-16, maybe that 3-13 took a little hit to the ego. I don't know.
I don't know. That's rough, but
Yeah,
he should hopefully he'll be able to. Well, I shouldn't say hopefully, but he should probably have a good chance of picking up a good replacement quarterback this year. And
I don't think so. I think he's
No.
ready. Did he trade his first round away?
Oh, that's
Saw Blade
right. That's
Saw Blade
right.
has won this year.
Yeah, Saw's
And he's
got
looking
one
for
won.
and if there's a stud quarterback, he's taking him.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
already,
for sure,
He's already
for
said
sure.
that, so
So that means we can trade
yes.
off Witten.
no. We're talking about Augusta.
Oh,
Augusta has
has
won one.
Oh, okay. I thought Rochester has it. Okay.
Then he's been trying to get rid of Landon Rhodes the last couple of years, so
Yeah, he's 5'11". I ain't going after him. Oh, he's done pretty good with them, really.
he has.
At least, Nah, he's 33. That's a little too old for me to make a move on, I think.
But he's still got Ted Meza over there. And if you look on the home screen for 2104 to 2106 top QB or top quarterbacks, Ted Meza is number 3.
Yeah, you saw that.
Isn't that awesome? Number 1 running back, yards from scrimmage, and number 3 quarterback. So he may as well be a fucking quarterback.
Yeah, 2,200 yards, 5.73 our average.
Yeah, that guy is insane.
1.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose is 33. How old do they play until? Like 35, 36?
Well, someone played at
38.
38. I mean, I've seen one guy play at 39, I think.
39.
But usually 37's usually right around the cutoff.
Yeah, I think my QB in RZB is 38 or 39 right now. So
Yeah, I think mine's 35. But yeah, I think 37's kind of the top end, but there have been some outliers. I might have seen somebody make 40, but I think 39 was the oldest I've seen.
All right, fellas.
all right, man. Good time.
Yeah, good times.
That is. And the draft we'll find out on Tuesday, is it?
Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, that's what it is.